So in this podcast, I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I usually do in my videos or in my books. I'm going to give you a lot of examples and explain each of these idioms a little bit more, hopefully helping you lock in learning. I mean, not even hopefully, this is going to help. The more scenarios we have, the more variations on a certain idiom and situations where you could use it, the larger your capacity for remembering this vocabulary is going to be. So let's jump right in. Today we're doing E off the very top. Now, if you are following with my book, we're on page 41 of my book. And if you're not following with my book, don't worry, I'm going to put a picture or a page of the book up on the screen. Again, if you're listening to this podcast, fantastic. Enjoy your drive, enjoy your walk, enjoy your run, enjoy your workout, enjoy your cooking, whatever you do. If you're lying on the sofa, enjoy yourself. And again, I will give you lots of different scenarios of each of these idioms to help you lock in learning. Okay, first one is earn a living. Earn a living, a synonym for earn a living is to make ends meet. I'll read the example and the meaning here. So the meaning, earn a living, to make money, to support yourself. That's all it means. Example, she earns a living by running an online consulting business. So just the way you make your money to support yourself or your family is to earn a living. So I earn a living as a business English teacher. You earn a living as a marketing consultant. You earn a living as a manager or as a rep. So the way you earn your money to support yourself and or your family is how you earn a living. So having casual conversations. Now, people forget when it comes to business English, you need to just have a lot of ability to small talk as well. So much a part of doing business is forming bonds and relationships with people, and that comes with small talk. So instead of asking someone, "What's your job? What do you do for a living? What's your job? What do you do for a living?" You can say, "Oh, how do you earn a living?" Or "What do you do for a living?" So, what do you do for a living? How do you earn a living? This means, what's your job? That's all it is. What do you do for a living? What How do you earn a living? And those are synonyms for what's your job. Okay. If you're interviewing and someone asks you, you've changed fields quite a lot. You went from the restaurant business to the retail business to manufacturing, like you've really changed industries. And you can say, well, I had to earn a living. I had to earn a living. I had to make money. I had to support myself and my family. So that's totally fine. And that's a really good response if someone's asking in an interview why you're changing fields or positions so often. You can say, I had to earn a living, or I did what I needed to do to earn a living, to make ends meet, to put food on the table for myself or my family. It's a great way to answer that question. Okay, next one is earn a seat at the table. Now, this is great. Think about going to a wedding, a big family wedding, and you have and imagine, sorry, think about going to a family wedding or a big wedding as a child. Okay, now you're not sitting with your cool cousins who are 18 years old. You're not sitting with your parents or your aunts and uncles or your grandparents. You're not sitting with everyone else. You're at the kids' table because they put all the kids together. So, now, what it means in English to earn a seat at the table is you are now included with a group of important people. Now, come sit at our table. So, think about a situation with a wedding, but it could also be, at university. There's a popular group of kids, and if they go, hey, Pablo, come sit with us, like, I can sit with you. I can sit with the cool kids. I've earned a seat at the table. For some reason, they want me to sit with them. So, what this means in business English is you learn the respect of being able to sit with the important people in the business or the industry. It's a really descriptive, it's a fun one. I'm going to show you the meaning and example here. So, meaning, earn a seat at the table. To gain respect or inclusion in important decisions or discussions. So, to earn a seat at the table. So, this means you're sitting at this table that we're sitting around to talk about business. We want to know what your input is. We want you involved in this decision making. We want you involved in these discussions. You've earned a seat at the table. Here's the example. By proving her expertise, she earned a seat at the table in the strategic planning meetings. So The strategic planning meetings only involve 3 top managers, but throughout the year, in product planning meetings, in the work that she's done, conversations she's had, I don't know, Pamela has really shown that she knows what she's talking about. So one of the top managers goes, listen, next time we have this strategic meeting, let's bring Pamela in. She knows what she's talking about. So Pamela, she showcased her skills and expertise. They like, wow, we need her at this table. She's going to bring something to the table, and bring something to the table means you're offering, you're contributing something substantial. Bring to the table is back in my podcast with Idioms for a B. The table's a big deal in business English. So if she brings stuff to the table, she's now earning a seat at the table. So she's now being rewarded to sit with the big players, with the important people. So to earn a seat at the table, this is what it means. It's really descriptive. It's fantastic. I mean, not so many times in our life do we earn a seat at the table, but if we do, we acknowledge what a big step that is in our career. People are trusting us, or they recognize that we do have a lot to contribute, a lot to offer in important decisions and important discussions to earn a seat at the table. It's fantastic. Okay, next one, earn your stripes. This is quite similar. Now, earn your stripes comes from military. Remember how I said many idioms come from gambling, from military or war, from sports, and from agriculture. My brain went blank right there. Okay, so earn your stripes. Think about a soldier in his uniform, and he's going to have medals, and he's going to have little badges with stripes of colors. Earn your stripes. This is where it comes from. I'm going to read you the meaning and example. Here we go. Earn your stripes. To gain experience, promotion, or respect by working hard and proving one's abilities. Example, she earned her stripes by taking on challenging projects and delivering results. So if you were to earn your stripes, it means you have gained experience, people have recognized that experience, and you've earned a promotion from it. So you've got more money, you have more responsibility, you have a higher salary. You have earned your stripes. So you've done the hard work. People recognize, wow, you've done a great job. You've earned this. You've been dedicated. You've put a lot of work into something. You've earned this position. So if you earn your stripes, the next step would probably be to earn your seat at the table. Okay, so those can kind of go together, but you earn your stripes first. You earn your stripes first. You prove yourself. You prove your experience. You prove your hard work, and then you earn a seat at the table. So those go together. Okay, next one, easy come, easy go. This is so common. We use this in general English, and we use this in business English a lot. I'm going to read you the meaning first and give you a bunch of examples. Okay, easy come, easy go. Something that's easily gained can be easily lost. I'm sure actually in your own, this is such a common one in English. I'm sure most languages have a similar one. If you have this in your own language, or a similar idiom to easy come, easy go, I'd love to see it. Go pop it in the comments. I'd love to see what it is in your own language. And if it's totally a translation from English, or maybe we took it from you because English stole a lot of words from a lot of different languages, or if it's just similar. So easy come, easy go. Example, the profits from the investment didn't last long. Easy come, easy go. So you put an investment in I don't know, an individual. You invested in something, it did well, you got profits from that, but then you bought a new car and your money's gone. Or again, a company is doing really well with their sales, they're doing very good with something, and the money's rolling in. Rolling in just means money's coming quickly. The money's rolling in, money's coming quickly, but then more money that comes in, you want to expand your business, so that money comes in quickly, and then you spend it on new equipment, you spend it on expansion, you spend it on top candidates. So easy come, easy go. This could be at the end of the month, you get your paycheck, and you're so excited to have all those numbers in your bank account. But then you go, oh, you know what? Let's go away for the weekend for a couple nights. Oh, let's go for a nice dinner. Let's go see a movie. Oh, you know what? I think I need a new pair of shoes or something. And then you look at your bank account on Monday and you think, wow, easy come, easy go. And it came quickly and it went quickly. And that's what it means. It's a good one. But I'd love to see in the comments what easy come, easy go is in your language, because either it's going to be a direct translation or something quite similar. I love learning idioms from different languages because they just describe something in a different way. It's still very easy for me to understand and English speakers to understand where it comes from, but we don't necessarily use it in our own language. An example would be a bird's eye view. A bird's eye view would be like to see things from the top, to have like a really zoomed out perspective of something. That's a bird's eye view. And I do believe in Russian it's a helicopter view, so that totally makes sense. Seeing something from a helicopter, I can totally understand it in English, but in English a bird's eye view. So it's interesting learning how idioms are in different languages. Anyways, let's get back to where we were. Okay, next one is edge out. Okay, edge out. I'm going to read the meaning first, and then I'm going to go through and give you the example. Edge out. This is a verb, this idiom. To defeat or surpass someone slightly. Okay. Example, our company edged out the competition to win the government contract. Okay. So to edge out, you defeat, which means you won against someone, or you surpass someone slightly, a small little amount. To edge out, I mean, think of trying to go to a reception at the airport, the check-in desk, and there's a full crowd of people, and you need to get through. You need to get on that flight, so you're kind of pushing your way through with your elbows. You're kind of pushing your way through to the front, and you get in front of all the other passengers and all the other people waiting to see the reception, or not reception, to see the lady at check-in, and you have edged out everyone else. You've surpassed them slightly. You pushed your way in the front. Or again, if you have two candidates interviewing for a position in your company and both have the same degrees, they have the same years of experience, they both interviewed so well, but you have to choose one, but they're literally on par. On par means equal. And they're both fantastic candidates. So you really have no idea. So one is going to hopefully edge out the other one. One is going to be slightly above in experience in a more diverse industry, or someone may have one more year experience, or someone may be a bit more personable, or they may speak a third language. Another person only speaks two languages. So if you surpass someone a little bit and then you win something, you edged them out. So to compete or go ahead of someone is to edge out. It's a good one. Next one, elephant in the room. This is another one. I'm pretty sure a lot of languages have a similar one. An elephant in a room. So if I'm sitting in this room right here and there's an elephant right there next to me and I'm just talking to you about idioms, you're going to be watching my video going, does she not see that elephant? Are we not going to talk about this elephant? And it means that there's something obvious that needs to be discussed. There's something obvious. I'll read you the meaning and the example here. Okay, elephant in the room, an obvious problem or issue that everyone is aware of but avoids discussing. Okay, so for example, maybe the VP of sales and the CFO got married over the weekend, and the whole company's ignoring it, not talking about it, and everyone comes to work going, "Are we not going to discuss this? This is like really big news." Or there's a merger happening, and the merger broke on the news. To break on the news means it was announced on the news. The merger of your company and another company broke on the news before they even told staff. And so you come into work for the day and everyone's like, wow, okay, when is management going to talk to us about the elephant in the room, the obvious thing we need to discuss? That's what it means, obvious, something obvious that everyone's aware of, but why are people not talking about it? Because I can see it. I can see that elephant in the room. It's an obvious thing. It has to be discussed. Here's my example. We need to address the elephant in the room, drastically declining sales. Okay, so you have a sales meeting, and sales is like, yeah, everything looks fine, everything's good, and the management's like, yes, everything looks fine, everything looks good, and IT's everything's fine, everything looks good. And then the VP of finance goes, we need to discuss the elephant in the room. The sales have gone down. Like, why are you saying everything's fine, everything's good? We need to tackle and discuss this matter. We can't avoid this issue. It's obvious to me, it's obvious to everyone in this room, sales have gone down. We can't skirt around the issue. We can't dance around the issue. We can't avoid it. We have to discuss it. Elephant in the room. Okay, next one is elevator pitch. Now, this is very common. I'm sure you already have an elevator pitch, and I have an elevator pitch. Okay, my elevator pitch I use in my videos is, hi, I'm Melissa B. Duarte. I'm the author of the Global Business English Mastery Series. There you go. That's my elevator pitch. So this is how you present yourself, how you talk about who you are and what you do in a short time it takes to take an elevator ride. That's all it is. So you walk into an elevator, lift if you learn British English. You walk into an elevator, you press the floor you're going to floor 22. Someone else walks in. Hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? And you say who you are, what you do. And that's your elevator pitch, talking about who you are in a nutshell. In a nutshell, we'll be down, we're down with idioms with I in a nutshell. And it just means a lot of information in a small package, like the shell of a nut. So this is your elevator pitch. I'll read the meaning and example for you here. Elevator pitch, a brief and persuasive speech about yourself, idea, or product. Example, be prepared to give your elevator pitch at the exhibition. So I give you an example of an elevator pitch about yourself, but it could totally be your plan. If you have a great idea or plan for your company, you're going to develop an elevator pitch for this. So if you do get the chance to talk with your manager or the CEO or the COO or your team lead, if you get a chance to talk with them, you can give your whole idea of what you have in a well-prepared, concise means a lot of information in a small package, like in a nutshell, a summary of what your idea is. Same thing with a product. So if I sell, oh, here we go. There's my little box here for my box for my microphone. If I sell microphones, for example, and I'm a sales rep, well, anywhere, any place I could find a prospective client, a prospective customer. So I'm going to have an elevator pitch about my product that I sell. So if I'm a sales rep for microphones and I'm flying around North America and South America, well, if I run into someone at the airport, in the airport lounge, at a conference, I'm going to have an elevator pitch for myself. And I'm also going to have an elevator pitch for my product. So I sell microphones that, they're a lapelier clip on, and they work great in wind or whatever it may be. But you're going to be able to sell your product, yourself, or your idea in a small amount of words. It's a great elevator pitch. If you don't have one, you need one for yourself. If you run into someone, for any ideas you have for your department or a product, elevator pitch, describing everything that needs to be told or said in a small amount of words, as if you could say it in an elevator ride. Okay, next one is end of the day. End of the day. This is really important. I'm going to read this sounds like end of the day as in like 6 o'clock Friday, or depending on your work hours, 8 o'clock Wednesday when you stop working. No, it's an idiom. It means something totally different. This is when idioms get tricky, because end of the day means I'll send it to you at the end of the day. We mean something different here, and I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, end of the day, meaning the conclusion or final outcome of a situation. Okay, example, at the end of the day, it's not about the hours I put into my work, it's the results that my manager cares about. So at the end of the day, or end of the day, means ultimately or in conclusion. Okay, so for example, you're working in graphic design, and you're doing graphic work for your company, and you're doing a rebranding. Well, this rebranding hasn't been very received well from your client base, and the customers aren't really liking this new rebranding. So you can say, listen, at the end of the day, I believe this is the right move for us. So maybe right now things aren't good, but the conclusion of this rebranding is it's going to put us in a much better market. So it kind of means ultimately or finally at the end of the day. Another example at the end of the day could be, again, you're in an interview process, and the HR manager could say, we're not so sure if we can offer you the salary you're asking us for. And you can say, listen, at the end of the day, if you can write in my contract that after 1 year you will bring me up to my salary requests, provided that I do the work I said I would do, and I do perform and do the work that you're wanting from me, and I do a great job in my work and my department, you will give this to me. Then at the end of the day, I'm happy signing this contract. So it means finally or ultimately. So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the day. End of the day just means ultimately or finally. Again, you go to university, you study, you get your bachelor's degree, you can't find work. You can't find work. You can't find work. It's frustrating. But at the end of the day, or end of the day, at least you have the education. At one point, you will find work, and at least you have education to go along with that work. So that's what it means, end of the day. Okay, next one, explore all avenues. Incredibly common as well in business English. So an avenue, if you don't know avenue, an avenue is another word for a street or a road. Okay, so when you're looking at a situation, you want to not look just straight ahead. You don't want to have linear thinking. You want to think about, there's this option, this goal, this way to get to the goal, and then there's this option and this way to get to the goal, and this option, this way to get to the goal, and this and this. Think of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, right? The Arc de Triomphe is right in the center of a roundabout, and there are, I don't know, 6 or 8 roads going off the Arc de Triomphe, that roundabout. So if down each of those roads was a goal or a possibility or brainstorming ideas for your company, you're exploring all avenues. You're going down each road. What will this be like? Oh, okay, that's the one scenario. What will this be like? Okay, that's another scenario. So explore all avenues. I'm going to read the meaning here and then the example. Explore all avenues to investigate or consider all possible options or methods. Okay, so you're, think of the avenue like a street, and you're going to go down each one to make sure you find the best one for whatever situation you're working in. Okay, so example, before making a decision, we should explore all avenues to ensure it's the best call. Fine. So your company needs to move office, and your company has, maybe 5 great offices to choose from in your city. Okay, fine. So let's say you guys are in, I don't know, shout out to all my Egyptian followers. Your office is in Cairo, and you have 5 great offices in Cairo that tick all the boxes. It means it meets all your criteria, but they're in different parts of town. And you can say town for city, by the way. So they're in different parts of the city. So we need to really explore all avenues to find out which is going to be the best office. Okay, so which one has transport going to it? That's one avenue we've explored. Which one is closest to where most of our staff live? That's another avenue. Which one has the best service and connections for taking clients out? Okay, that's another avenue. Which one has the best infrastructure, like it has good roads and good services and good electrical and good infrastructure? That's another avenue. So which one has the best price, has the best landlord, has the best reputation, has the most cleanest building, whatever the case may be. You're exploring all these different options of one choice, and what it means to explore all avenues. So if you're lucky enough to be headhunted and you're currently happy in your current position, but someone headhunts you from a bigger company and they want you to come on board, go work with them, you're like, oh, I wasn't looking for work. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Well, explore all avenues. You're going to go down that line of thought, just like the Arc de Triomphe in Paris and all those roads going off of it. Okay, well, if I change jobs, this can open this door. This could be negative. This could be positive. This could be positive. This could be negative. You're going to kind of have your thoughts go down all different scenarios. That's what it means to explore all avenues. Okay, and the last one on this page before I go to the next page, we still have quite a few more with E, is eye on the ball. Okay, now we had before drop the ball, and that was in my podcast for idioms from the D pages of my book. So the ball in business English is the most important task, the work, your responsibility. The most important part of anything is the ball. So if you drop the ball, oops, you made a mistake, or you didn't fulfill your responsibilities. Now, if your eye is on the ball, you're aware of it. So, eye on the ball means you're constantly on top of what's important in business. Okay, just like playing tennis. If you're playing tennis and if your eye's on the ball, you're going to be prepared to hit the ball, right? If your eye's not on the ball, you'll probably miss the ball. So, this is what it means. This is actually quite literal, but very, very common. I'm going to read you the meaning and an example here. Okay, eye on the ball, meaning to stay focused and attentive when working to achieve a specific goal. Example, let's keep our eyes on the ball and make sure this project stays on track. So, it just means we have a project. We need to keep our eye on the ball. We need to constantly monitor our staff. We need to constantly monitor our spending. We need to constantly be in contact with the client, make sure they're happy. We need to constantly monitor the progress, the timeline, the scope creep. It just means keep your eye on the ball. You're always aware of what's happening. So, again, if you're interviewing, and the hiring manager says, why should we hire you over other candidates? I hate that question. But you can say, I keep my eye on the ball on every single project or every single task that I have. And by saying you keep your eye on the ball, you're saying, like, I'm aware of things and I don't look away. I don't forget things. I don't miss things. I don't drop the ball. I keep my eye on the ball, and it's fantastic. My eye's always on the ball, meaning I know what's happening. I know who's working on what. I know what's coming in. I know what's going out. I know what's happening. Your eyes on the ball. It's fantastic. It's very powerful in business English. Okay, let's continue with business English idioms starting with E. Okay, now we have an empty suit. Now, if you listen to my podcast from the letter D, there was an idiom in there called dead weight. And dead weight is someone who is just there, but they do not contribute to something. An empty suit is similar, but an empty suit means someone who's wearing a suit. So it's more in a business context. So I'll give you an example of an empty suit here and the meaning. Empty suit, a person in a position of authority, that's why the suit comes in, who lacks real knowledge, skills, or substance. Okay, example, he might hold a high ranking title, but many see him as an empty suit. So, a dead weight is someone or a product that doesn't perform at all. So it's someone who does not contribute, but they're in a company. That's a dead weight. But an empty suit is someone in who's wearing a suit. So someone who's in a management role or a C-level role. And again, why are they there? They're not working. They don't contribute. They're not knowledgeable. They're lacking substance. They're not closing deals, whatever the situation may be. So an empty suit is often someone who's been with a company for a long time and they're promoted because of their loyalty, but they just don't have the skills to produce results at that level. Or someone's friend or someone's family member. I mean, unfortunately, this happens in business where, oh, yeah, your cousin can come work with me. And then the cousin's working there and they're wearing a suit, but they really have no idea what's happening. Unfortunately, we've all been there. That's an empty suit. So if you work with someone who's of a higher authority, but they just don't really contribute, they don't really have the skills or the knowledge, and they probably shouldn't be in that role, you call that an empty suit. Okay. Next one is extend an olive branch. This is a really old idiom, like hundreds of years old, and we still use it. I'm sure in your language you also have an idiom similar to extend an olive branch because this is very common. I'll read the meaning and example here. To make a gesture of peace or reconciliation. Okay, so an example would be after a heated debate, she extended an olive branch by inviting her colleague to lunch. So if you butt heads with someone, and butt heads is like when two deer are fighting, right? They kind of butt heads like this. If you're butting heads with someone for whatever reason, um, sales promises something, and then finance is like, no, you can't have that budget, you can't do that. So there's a little bit of tension, there's an argument going on. Well, okay, so finance can't give it, but they'll extend an olive branch saying, listen, but we can expand this service to your client, for example. Or you're not seeing eye to eye. Seeing eye to eye with someone is having the same opinion as them. So you're not seeing eye to eye with maybe your team lead, but you're the manager. And your team lead is very knowledgeable and very skilled, but you're not really seeing eye to eye, and your team lead's very unhappy. You think he might quit his job, but you need him because he's fantastic. And so you can extend an olive branch to him, saying, "Listen, I talked to HR. They're willing to give you another week holiday per year, or they're willing to give you an extension on your vacation time, or they're willing to give you a raise." So maybe the manager can't provide what the team lead wants, maybe a bigger office or new equipment or more staff, but he's able to do something else. So a little something you do to help someone, to help a relationship move forward, extend an olive branch. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do. Good thing in business. People are people, right? We're always working. We're always working for the better. A lot of business is so cutthroat. Cutthroat is another idiom, like cutthroat. It just means I'll just kill you to get what I want from business, which is a very bad thing. But again, I think people forget that business is just people working together. It really is. It's not necessarily, doesn't have to be so cutthroat. So to extend an olive branch is often very good at building relationships, and you'll have a longer career in business and a more successful business if you extend olive branches as opposed to cutting throats. Okay, next one is every cloud has a silver lining. Now, this idiom is so old and so common. We have two iterations of it. So, every cloud has a silver lining means, I'm going to read the meaning here for you. There's something good in every bad situation. So, a big cloud, well, there's a beautiful silver lining around that big cloud. So, every bad situation has something good that comes along with it. Now, how I say there's two parts to this idiom is so common. Now we just say the silver lining, the silver lining. So, you could say every cloud has a silver lining. I lost my job, but now I have time to develop my hobbies. Now I have time to develop my new career. Lost my job, really bad thing. But now I have time to do something positive with my life. So you can say every cloud has a silver lining. Or the silver lining in losing my job, the consolidating factor, or a positive part to a bad situation is that I'm able to now work into developing my skills and my hobbies. So it just means something in a bad situation that has something good that comes along with it. I'll read you the example here. The project failed, but we gained valuable insight into this market. Every cloud has a silver lining. Okay, so that sentence you could say the project failed, but the silver lining was we gained valuable insight into this market. Or the project failed, but we gained valuable insight into this market. Every cloud has a silver lining. So again, silver lining is very important. Again, if you're interviewing, the interviewers, they ask really mean, horrible questions. They have to, that's their job. But they can say, why did you leave your previous company? Tell me something you didn't like about your previous manager. They ask you those difficult questions. Well, you could say, I left my company because I wasn't happy with the merger. I wasn't happy with the workload. However, every cloud has a silver lining. It brought me here to this position, and this is exactly where I want to be working. So that's great. You can say, that's a bad situation, leaving my work. Maybe I didn't want to, I was pushed to do it, or I had no choice to do it. But the silver lining is I'm now here interviewing with you, and this is the company of my choice. This is where I want to be. So you can really use that to spin. Spin means to turn a bad situation good. You can really use that to spin something positive from something bad. It's great. Or again, you lose a major client, your KPIs have gone down. Well, every cloud is a silver lining. You're going to try that much harder next year. Maybe that client that you invested so much time trying to get them to renew their subscription with your company, maybe they're going to close next year. And the next client you get is a client that's up and coming, and they're going to be a long-term client for you. So, you didn't get that client you worked so hard for, but every cloud has a silver lining. There's probably something good hidden in that bad situation. So that's an example there. And very last one we have here with E is to exceed expectations. Now, expectations are here. It's kind of the bar that you set of what you expect or want from something. So I go to a restaurant, I have certain expectations of that restaurant: good food, good service, an okay price. Those are my expectations. Well, if the food was way beyond what I expected, if the service was way above what I expected, if the quality was way above what I expected, that restaurant exceeded my expectations. So, if you're working in customer service, customer relations, this is the language you use. We want to exceed our clients and our customers' expectations, and we want to blow them away. Blow them away is like blast them with how good we are and how great our service is. So, exceed expectations is people are expecting this, and you do this. So if you're a manager and you're talking to a lower level employee doing a performance review, and this guy or girl did incredible, they went beyond their KPIs, they went beyond what you expected, you can say, you've really exceeded our expectations. We'd like to put you up for a promotion, or we'd like to thank you for your contribution to the team or to the company. So you've gone beyond what we expected of you. To go better and go beyond what people expect. I didn't even read the meaning or example. Let me get in there right now. Okay, exceed expectations to perform better than anticipated. Anticipated means expected. Example, the branch sales exceeded expectations this year securing 20%. So, if you do your forecast for the next year, you see our company's going to grow by 5%. Well, if your company grows by 7%, you've exceeded expectations. You've done more than that. So there you go. We've done E. Now, as with all of my videos, I'm going to read a little bit of a dialogue. In the dialogue, I'm going to be putting in regular words that can be replaced for any of these idioms starting with E that I've just taught you. Now, this is a bit different. Usually I have a dialogue between two people. This is actually an email. So it's probably going to be a little bit easier for you to follow if you're listening, because it's a lot easier to follow an email as opposed to a dialogue when I'm both voices. Okay, let's get started. So again, I'm going to read this pretty slow. I'm going to kind of hover, stop on the synonym words, see if you can think of the idioms. Then I'm going to go read through the email at a regular pace. Then I'll go through and read it with those idioms and see how many you guessed. Okay, here we go. This is a follow-up email on a strategy discussion. Hello, team. Following our recent strategy discussion, I wanted to touch base and ensure we keep our focus as we move forward with our plans. So keep our focus. Focus. Think of an idiom that starts with E that I just taught you. That means focus. As we discussed, it's essential to consider all options before finalizing our approach to maximize our chances of success. Consider all options. Think about all options. Think of an idiom starting with E that means consider all options. Additionally, having a strong, brief presentation will give us the edge we need when presenting to potential partners. Brief means short, a brief presentation. Think of a word in English or an idiom that I taught you that means a brief presentation. If we stay focused, I'm confident we can outperform the competition and secure the market position we're aiming for. I'm confident we can outperform. So perform better than the competition or what's expected and secure the market position we're aiming for. Ultimately, our success will come down to the strength of our strategy and our commitment to exceeding or executing it effectively. Ultimately, our success will come down to the strength of our strategy and our commitment to executing it effectively. Ultimately. Think of an idiom meaning ultimately. Okay, so that's the whole email there. Now I'm going to read through the email completely. Still no idioms, but I'm going to read through it without stopping. Here we go. Dear team, following our recent strategy discussion. I wanted to touch base and ensure we keep our focus as we move forward with our plans. As discussed, it's essential to consider all options before finalizing our approach to maximize our chances of success. Additionally, having a strong, brief presentation will give us the edge we need when presenting to potential partners. If we stay focused, I'm confident we can outperform the competition and secure the market position we're aiming for. Ultimately, our success will come down to the strength of our strategy and our commitment to executing it effectively. Kind regards, or best regards, Sergey. Okay, that's the email. Now I'm going to read you the email with all of those words replaced by the idioms starting with E, which I've gone through here. Okay, here we go. The answers are a lot smaller. I'm going to bring the book closer to me. Okay, dear team, following our recent strategy discussion, I wanted to touch base and ensure we keep our eye on the ball as we move forward with our plans. Keep our eye on the ball. Stay focused. Keep our eye on the ball. As we discussed, it's essential to explore all avenues before finalizing our approach to maximize our chances of success. Explore all avenues. Look at every option. Look at everything from different angles. It's essential to explore all avenues. Additionally, having a strong elevator pitch will give us the edge we need when presenting to potential partners. Having a strong elevator pitch, that's your brief presentation. If we stay focused, I'm confident we can edge out the competition and secure the market position we're aiming for. Edge out means to push forward and push them out of the way and get success or be ahead of them just by a little bit. End of the day, our success will come down to the strength of our strategy and our commitment to executing it effectively. End of the day, ultimately, end of the day. Okay, I'll read that email for you one more time with those idioms in there. This is going to be the end of this here. Here we go. And I'm not going to stop. So now you have all these idioms. Hello, team, or dear team. Following our recent strategy discussion, I wanted to touch base and ensure we keep our eye on the ball as we move forward with our plans. As we discussed, it's essential to explore all avenues before finalizing our approach to maximize our chances of success. Additionally, having a strong elevator pitch will give us the edge we need when presenting to potential partners. If we stay focused, I'm confident we can edge out the competition and secure the market position we're aiming for. End of the day, our success will come down to the strength of our strategy and our commitment to executing it effectively. Best regards, Sergey. We did it. Okay, so we got through E. I hope all this was very useful for you guys. Again, if you're listening to it and you're not seeing the pages of my book in the video, just save the video and come back to it. And all the pages that I've read from will be up there on the screen for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you when I come back for F. Have a great day, everyone.